I tried to get Mark to come and said I was the department head.
You are.
Sure.
You're in charge. Maybe you should have Donna come over.
I could.
Two minutes.
It's a lot. I don't feel so bad.
Yeah, Cody ain't gonna have a chair.
Cody ain't gonna come.
Oh, he ain't? Oh, that's right.
I need more chairs.
Here, I can move down. How are you?
All right, close enough. Perfect pledge, right? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first item on the agenda is we have to reorganize our board here, so.
You like what you do?
It's fine with me. Mike asked me already, I don't care.
I nominate Jackson. I can second that.
All right.
He said he didn't mind what he did.
Yeah, all right. All in favor, signify by aye.
Alright.
Aye. Motion carries. All right. We'll start with you, Paul.
And the vice chair, Tom Rice.
Oh, for vice chair. Oh, yeah, we gotta do the vice chair.
Move Tom Rice.
All right, I'm sorry.
Welcome to.
All in favor? Is there a second for Tom Rice? I'll second it. Rent the truck, the rain train run over you, but anyway. All in favor, signify by aye. Motion carries. Well, now we can go, I guess.
Now we can go, okay. Start here. As most of you know, I was tasked to come up with a new hire checklist. I'm sorry, Randy. So I have done that, and I put it out in an email. It's my understanding that there are some thoughts about this that you want to convey, and I appreciate the input into it. I will say, before we get started into that this list is not designed to take any authority away from any of the elected officials' offices. Okay? You still have the authority to hire who you want, when you want, if you have budget authority, which is what this checklist addresses. Make sure all of our bases are covered. We're doing the best job that we can for Beaverhead County. Having said that, questions, comments?
My only one was on the 5-person committee, hiring committee. I only have 2.5 people in the office.
Say that again?
The 5-person hiring committee,
Mhm.
is that always necessary? I've never had 5 people sitting in that meeting.
It's not necessary, but what we're finding out in case law through hires is that we need to do the same thing every time we hire somebody. It's consistency. It just makes it better. There's less chance for somebody to come back and throw us under the bus, if you will, for not following the same hiring practices as, say, the road department or the solid waste department.
Okay, so I've consistently had 3 people. Can I consistently keep it at 3 people?
You can, we just have to document that you've done it, okay?
So I'm gonna ask with Carla, so with the 5 or the 3 people, so technically it should be 5. So do we always have to have a commissioner on that hiring board?
It's a good idea to, as you can see through the checklist, it's a good idea to always include the board of commissioners in everything that we do here. Just basically because they hold the money, okay? The first item on there is, check with the commissioners to see if it's appropriate to hire somebody. And that is to find out if we have enough money in that line item to cover the costs of that hire. There's a state law, and it's been simplified a lot. That's 7-6-4005. That simply puts that if you extend over your budget authority as an elected official, that you could be held personally responsible for those figures. So we're trying to keep that away from you. It helps you, it helps the commission, it helps the people that we're hiring. You'll notice on there that there's one of them that says something similar to the job description. We just went through Randy's hiring position over there, and she pretty much followed this. In fact, that was kind of a guideline I used. I just used that as what she did was, spot on. So we need to make sure that we get that done and follow those directives.
With that, I think maybe we could collectively agree to reduce it from 5 to maybe 4 people, because my issue is finding people that have the ability to take off of their normal jobs to sit through 2 days of interviews.
Okay, what we can do with that, and I thought about that too. I just, put this
It's
together.
difficult.
We can put it together to where we have an odd number, just an odd number of people will sit on the committee to hire, the interview committee. How does that sound?
Why don't you just make it like?
Then you
Maybe
can,
what
Three
do
to
you guys
five,
think?
3 to
3
5.
times?
yeah,
Yeah.
you can go 3 to 5.
3 or 5.
3 or 5.
Okay, we can change that. That's easy enough.
And two, the big thing about this is, everybody thinks the commissioners run everything. But one of the pieces that we need to know, and it's happened a couple times, is if there's a full-time employee working here, and I see the museum is here, if they want to take a part-time job and go down and shovel walks, or go up to the landfill on Saturday and pick litter, that puts into overtime. And you guys might look at it just as a department, it's just theirs, but Department of Labor looks at this as we're one company. So the minute they start picking litter up at the landfill or shovel walk for somebody else, they're getting overtime. And that's where the budget really gets serious. We've run into that too. Other than the election, there's a few laws on election people that they can work for elections not doing this because of that same thing. But it gets into overtime. And that's why, everything we do, Randy's person, we talked about maybe work part-time for the sheriff. Those are the kind of things you gotta be careful of. If they work over 40 hours in the story, somebody's gonna be paying overtime. And that's what we're trying to do. And when you do departments don't even really talk to each other much, that's where it gets, we gotta watch it. So that's the big case of uniformity, I guess I wanna call it, so people know where they're at.
So, and just as an informational thing, the last time we talked about it, Sky mentioned that we needed to talk with Mako in regards to this. I have covered that base. Mako has approved it. We can move forward. Other questions? With that, we'll make that one change and move forward.
Did you have a question, Amber?
Well, I guess I'm thinking more on my short-term workers, seasonal workers, where I'm hiring 5 to 8 people. And I need to be pretty reactive, I guess. If I have somebody come in the door that's wanting a job, I need to be able to set an interview and do it. Because otherwise, they're finding something else. So,
Okay.
that makes sense.
It makes sense, it makes perfect sense.
I can't like wait and do 10 interviews one day, 2 days, because by then, 5 of them have already found other jobs. Because
Okay.
they're looking for 3-month summer stuff. So if I have a kid walk in the door wanting a summer job, I usually say, yep, let's set an interview. I get my weed board chairman, I have Laura or whoever, we do an interview. If they're good, I'm gonna hire them.
Okay, so
That makes
seasonal
sense.
employees, we can just put an excerpt in there about seasonal employees can be hired by the head of the department.
I mean, I still, I still go through the weed board.
Mhm.
at a weed board meeting, I say, this is who I'm wanting to hire, I get their approval, and then I do bring it to these guys at a commissioner meeting for the final. But I need to be able to at least offer that job to them and say, hey,
And
let's
that's,
let's get you confirmed.
yeah, that's what we're looking for, is to get these guys in the loop, so that they know how much money's spent. I mean, our tax dollars are beginning to be a lot more valuable, and we have to be careful of what we're doing, and we have to be transparent with the public.
I
So,
just don't wanna have 3 of my people like, go find other jobs because it's taken us 3 weeks to get there.
yeah, I think seasonal employees, we don't have a problem with that.
Perfect. Good deal.
Maybe it's just a matter of putting on your checklist for full-time vacancies
Mhm.
or
That would
something to clarify.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So for number 5, so my question on that is, in the past, I know most of us have just brought a letter to the commissioner, saying that this is who we hire, this is what we're hiring them at, the step and grade and all that. So does it need to be an agenda item? And can we hire the person prior to coming to that, if it's on an agenda item?
I'm gonna wait that to the Board of Commissioners and see what they want to do with that situation.
Usually it's the first or a certain date to get it through Becky and Stacy. They kind of help judge what day number 1 would be, I would say. When it's on payroll is what I'm trying to say.
Well, that's not the question. The question is, in the past, so like when I've hired somebody, I've written a letter saying, this is who we hired, this is the position that they're taking, this is the step in the grade that I've hired them at, and I've given you gentlemen a copy of that. So you're aware
Yeah,
of who was hired.
in that letter, does it
But-
say that they start such and such a date?
Yes,
Okay, well, that answers my question, basically.
yes.
So if they,
But here it says, advise the county commissioners, does it go on the agenda for official approval?
Do we have to bring it here?
Yeah, do we have to have your
Do you
Do we
approval?
have to your approval on a Monday?
Do you wanna vote on
on a Monday, is what you're saying? Then the
Because I've always done it exactly how Stacey did it.
Yeah, where we
And
write a
might do
letter saying this is,
also as they do.
because we've gone through the selection committee already.
Yeah,
I usually actually do 2 interviews. I always bring the top 2 back in for a second interview. And so between those 2 committees, we've already made the selection of who we want to hire.
It's a
I think
real
it's a
little
matter of
technicality, but it sounds like flipping, I don't know what you want to call it. But this all boils down to the commissioners are hiring these people. They hire everybody but these elected officials, right? So that's why it should come to this meeting, I think.
But can
The
it just be done like here on a Monday morning, like this
Yeah.
is who my committee has
Yeah.
chosen as the best candidate, or do we need to be a bullet point on the calendar?
The name and stuff, I wouldn't say so, but I'd like this meeting every morning at 9 o'clock, I would bring the document, I would do it, and I would make a motion on that part.
yeah, I don't think.
Consent agendas, we can get into that part there that,
So I guess my question and concern there is, if there is somebody that, say, one of you knows and is familiar with that you don't particularly care for, or know something that we don't, we're discussing this on a live, open meeting, where it's kind of getting into that personnel issue again.
Mhm.
but it boils down to, I guess it's the same way that, I guess look on the flip side of this is, technically, you can't fire people. You bring the recommendation, you go through this whole process, it finally gets fired up here. So if we the only ones can fire them, we should be the only ones to hire. The chances of a committee bringing the recommendation to the front of this board of commission, they say no, I would say no. But that's what I'm saying, it's just technical. It ought to be on the agenda here. And it all goes back to the lawyers and the
Agenda
lawsuit.
meaning it has its own separate bullet point or in the department head meeting?
I get the department head meeting. I just think I'd come across this to be on the agenda if somebody looks in there.
Okay, I have a question
If you
on
get sued,
department
so-
head meetings. Are they every Monday or is it when we call? Because Stacy tells me they're every Monday, but
Well,
I just come when the agenda actually says the department head meeting. So which meetings am I supposed to be at? Because I really don't have project updates every week.
Shouldn't have to come, is what she said.
History. Who remembers Richard Miller? This 9 o'clock to 9:30 was back then was Richard Miller in the road department. He left, it was, why? We need updates on things going on in the courthouse is what this is all about. So, no, you aren't mandated to come to every meeting on every Monday, but it's nice if you've got something going on, that let us know.
There's
That's what the whole point
There's two that told us that they didn't have, they said, I will not be here today. I don't have anything, that's fine too. So that's-
Well, I just didn't, I mean, I have a lot of other stuff to do on Monday mornings.
Yes, believe me. No, it's your choice. to do.
Okay, thank you.
So just as a reminder, in order to get that vote done on the Monday meeting, it has to be in 48 hours prior to the meeting.
It's not gonna be on the agenda. I mean, that's not.
It's gonna have to be if it's an action item.
I know, well, I know, that's why I said, we can make this sound like government, or, I mean, I don't know.
We'll figure that out, other topics of
If
discussion.
it's in the agenda here, I mean, this all boils down to when the person's gonna sue us. I mean, this is what this is all about. When we get sued, there better be something on the record that says who hired this person, because if you hired them and we don't know nothing about it, then why are we getting sued? That's what we're trying to protect, I guess. It's gonna say in here, Dan's gonna put in there that the commissioners are brought forth this recommendation for Jasmine to be hired here. It's in the record, it's approved by the commission.
So it can be in the minutes, but not necessarily an
Well,
agenda
yeah.
item.
That's the same
Is that what
thing.
I'm understanding?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to, because it's the same way it's.
But I don't
Casey,
think.
leave for a minute, I gotta say something.
Nope.
But no, it's the same way as technically, we're not supposed to sit in that room in there, the three commissioners all week long.
No.
Those are the kind of things that if a guy went to the letter of the law, we couldn't get nothing done.
Right.
So, all right, so this hiring people, all I want to get is on the record when we get sued, that it says that we hired. And then when they're gone, it says we hired.
We approved
And
the,
for seasonal employees, you could do something like a disclaimer that the commissioners don't need to be the ones that fire that person. I guess, you know, I've talked to Sky, but I'm thinking seasonal people are kind of in a different category.
They really are, they
Yeah.
really are.
Oh, I just.
Seasonal are completely different. We don't need to get wrapped around in, guys. That's just you.
And maybe what we ought to do, instead of putting it on an agenda item with a bullet point attached to it, is just put in there notification to the Board of Commissioners that this is the person we're hiring.
I don't know if the person's name.
And that's
needs
what
to
we've
be
always
on
done.
Yeah.
That's what I've
I
always
don't
done.
know if the person's
Right,
name
it's
is-
never been an
Can we
agenda.
bring you a letter and then you look at that letter and then we come to you on that Monday, the department head meeting?
And they say I
And then
approve.
say,
If
then you can tell us your name.
We approved the.
So
hiring.
on Monday, typically on Monday, our Monday meetings are progress that stuff that's happening in the different departments. So if they just make notification that this is the person that they hired, and it's not an action item on the agenda, then you don't have to go that 48 hours.
Question with the library.
No, not the library.
I mean, no.
So it could be the same thing. I have a question because I have a board.
Mhm.
So my question is, am I the representative for the department or is that the trustees? Would that be the trustees that would come to these meetings or should I show up for meetings? On
You.
Mondays?
You,
Me, okay. Okay. And back to your question that you were talking about it. When I was hired, I had 7 people that interviewed me and then interviewed different people. And then we had 2 commissioners that showed up and I did that Monday morning. I think it took all of 5-10 minutes.
Mhm.
And it ended up on the board. So it was really super simple. I mean, there was no,
well, it is super simple, but it's also time consuming.
well, no,
We've
but
all
what
got-
I'm saying is that when we came in here, it was quick. They put it on the agenda. And then I was hired through the commissioners and it's on the agenda in the minutes.
And the only kickback to that, the only problem with that is that has to be to the public 48 hours prior to.
And
the
it
vote.
was.
Okay.
Amber?
So I'm thinking with your guys' process with the letter. Maybe. So if you were to make that offer as the committee, you're gonna offer this to this person to secure them, to be able to get it on the agenda within that letter would have a statement. It's contingent on approval by the Board of Commissioners.
On
Good
next
idea.
Monday.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would be a way to cover all bases, get that person secured.
Yeah.
They're technically, they're gonna be hired as long as they're approved by you guys, get it on the agenda. That would be a way to cover all the bases.
Sounds good.
In fact, we could probably even draft up a template.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or-
I have it, we have it. All we have to do is add
Yeah,
that statement.
Yeah,
Send it to
And then you could
That'd be
have it
great.
as an actual agenda item.
What we're gonna do is, we're gonna get with Tracy as soon as he's not real busy. Is We've got a Q drive on with all of the job descriptions and stuff like that, that we wanna have all the department heads have access to it on their computer.
The state computer.
Yeah. You'll
So
have to-
maybe you can email me those separately.
Can you email them as well?
What's that?
Can you email them to me too, so I'm not on the
Okay.
network either?
All you state people will.
Thanks.
So-
I mean, I only want mine, I don't need everybody else's, honestly.
Get my card. You got one.
Hey, I got a question then, if you're sort of done with this piece.
I'm done with this piece.
Just, to everybody refresh memories on sick leave and vacation, we keep track of that, so if anybody's got to burn up vacation time, we gotta get it done, because that one time. But my question is, does anybody know right off the top of your head how much sick leave you can use for an immediate family member on for a funeral?
For a funeral,
Yeah.
I looked it up
we've
in
been
the
going
handbook.
5 days for,
Is it saying in this book? That's what,
No,
I don't think it does.
no, it
I don't
doesn't.
think it
Talking
does.
about the grievance
It doesn't, because I looked it up when my mom died, and there's nothing in there about how long, so I took sick leave.
I know you're supposed to be able to take sick leave for a funeral and an immediate
But nothing,
family, but it's not in this thing. That's something that we've got. Okay.
I'm
And it says you
working
can
on
take
that.
1 day for people that's not. You can use a 1 day for friends, people that aren't immediate family, but immediate family, what do we do? A week? Or has anybody ever seen that or?
well, I think it's kind of, my opinion, it should be kind of contingent on the circumstances. And an example of that would be, is I have an employee whose parent passed away in another state. She was also the executive of state. She had to take 3 weeks to be there, to do the funeral services, to do all the family stuff. So is it fair that they have to take vacation time, or can they take sick time because they had to do it?
Okay, so let's
I mean-
let's do some research on that, because I don't know if that's included on FMLA stuff or not,
Okay,
okay?
okay.
But let's shoot for, I mean, the same way, that's where this is exactly gonna come in. If they're that kind of responsible for that piece, that's gonna be vacation, I would think. Because we can't do everybody, one person 3 weeks and one person 1 week,
isn't it
So
usually 3 days?
regardless, so,
I'll have an answer for you next month.
okay, let's get it in the book.
Okay, we're doing a review on the employee manual. We've been doing that since February. I've had some holdups with that I'm not real happy with, but that's okay too. We'll move forward with it without those additions that individual was gonna make. So, yes, we'll move forward with that. I'll have answers for you next Monday. at this meeting.
Is it, if we shoot unless statewide tells difference, is 5 days for
That's
sick leave,
good.
for using sick leave for immediate family, it tells you what immediate family in here, is that sort of where we wanna shoot for?
Like, that's good. Usually it's only 3 days if you've done HR before. They usually just give you 3 days for bereavement so I think
Well,
5 is really nice.
We need to pick a date, and then the people that need more.
I think, yeah, that's gonna be contingent on the department head, what needs to be done with that individual. I know what they went through when they did that, it's a pain in the backside.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll shoot for that, maybe 3 days local, 5 days out of state, that kind of thing. Let's see what other places have on the books and go from there.
I'd be curious to see if the FMLA covers that.
I'm not so sure it has, I don't remember.
My question is on vacation, so does it just keep rolling over? I mean, so, say you have a month built up, does it roll over, or do you have to have that spent? Like, I think the city has a cap on theirs or whatever every year.
The cap is state law. You
So-
can only have, 2 years worth of vacation on the books.
Oh, okay,
And you have between now and March 30th to get that down to the 2 years.
oh, okay.
Otherwise, at the end of March 30, you're gonna lose it.
Anybody else? All right, good.
Thank you, I appreciate the input.
Thanks, Paul. Okay. Landfill, you got the floor now.
Not much new to report from landfill. Like this week, we're gonna try to get night responding up and going. Just like the order some scanners, we're gonna get up and going. Other than that, I'm gonna start working on the scale guys again after the holidays to see where we're at with that. And that's about all I got.
Stacy? Joyce?
Let's see, year-end report, I'll give it to you. 272 on-site inspections, 17 new Airbnb rentals got licensed this year, and that's doubled what we had prior in Airbnbs, because we had about 38, or we had about, well, we have 38 now, so we have 17 new from 2024, and then I still think that's a drop in the bucket. I think there's a lot of them out there that aren't gonna license. And then, what else was I gonna say? I don't know, but here's this. And then also I have some thank you cards that you guys can sign today for Town and Country and Safeway for donating to our Christmas party. So I'll get those signed and bring them over there for you, okay? And that's pretty much all for me. So I'm just running around getting inspections done now, like today. So,
Well, I already brought Jasmine around and introduced her to most everybody. She's a new deputy clerk recorder. If I haven't had a chance to introduce you, stop on over to the office and I'll introduce you to her. Other than that, just rolling along.
Becky?
I have nothing to report.
Good. Jack?
Oh, it's the first week of the month, so my board meetings are this week. We'll have a livestock committee and 4-H council tomorrow. Everyone tonight. Keeps me busy this is the week I don't get home before 9 o'clock. So, but other than that, that's all I got going on.
Corey?
Nothing really going on in my department. The judge just hired Ruby Pierce to be a court reporter because Kathy Hilton has retired. So she'll eventually be in the office next fall. That's what happened.
Well, we moved Jack over to the treasurer's office last week. We're gonna work with Amber this week after she's done with her grants a little bit and get her moved over there hopefully in the next couple weeks. I've been talking with Stacy about getting Amber's office updated and set up for when she expands over there. I've also talked with the county attorney's office a little bit over with the empty extension office, and next week we're gonna try to move a few filing cabinets for the sheriff's department downstairs in the basement under the county attorney's office, since we need more space for a few offices in there. So other than that, that's all I got.
Amber?
Just grants are due today, so I'm gonna get the final touches and letters of support that I'm working on. I just got a text from Mike saying his letters are on their way, so.
Do you have till midnight?
I do have till midnight, yeah. So I'll get that done. I'm one of those I better use my vacation here soon, so I'll be kind of taking off as much as I can. If I can leave early or whatever, I'll be in and out, moving. That's gonna be the big thing, so.
You got something?
Just I'm looking for anybody to remove snow. Let me know if you know of anybody. It's hard to find anybody. Nobody wants to do the museum, so it's kind of where it's stuck.
The boardwalk, I did that once or twice.
What's that?
I did the boardwalk once or twice.
That makes it pretty tough, actually.
They bought me a snow blower. I'm trying to figure out how to work it right now.
Okay.
I'm learning my age is not part of the
Yeah.
job anymore.
I know. I feel for you.
Just hitting deliverables, flu and COVID. We had 6 flu last week. Only a couple hospitalizations throughout the season, but just people.
Sure.
Can I jump in? I have to go to a hearing.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry,
Yep,
it's
go
starting
ahead.
now. Just want to tell you our numbers from 2023 compared to 2024. We're up 42% in criminal cases. We had 125 this last year. We're up 34% in civil cases, so collections, landlord tenant, orders of protection, 361 cases. We're up 250% in small claims. We're up 89% in search warrants, and we're up down 0.7% in the number of actual tickets that we got. So, yeah, that's why Megan's with us, and we're very glad she's here now. So,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Since we're there, Kathy.
Nothing to report in my neck of woods, so glad taxes are done. It was so much easier this year than last year.
So quit.
But short-lived because assessments will be coming out by the farmer revenue in May, June. And we'll probably hear about that,
I'm sure.
yes.
Okay, David.
Oh, busy week, lots of crashes. Yesterday we had a plane go down right below Mauer Mountain. It did no damage to the plane, he put her down nice and soft, but there'll be a helicopter out there today shuttling, a state helicopter shuttling people up and back and forth to pack down the snow and cut sagebrush, make a runway, so I'm trying to get out of there today.
I've got an aviation background. He's pretty lucky to be able to do
Yeah,
that.
really. I'm lucky that when it hit that deep snow, it didn't flip forward. So.
All that sagebrush and logs.
Sagebrush looks like trees from satellite vision.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
we're down to 14 downstairs, so that's really nice. Getting some stuff caught up. That's.
Why did it go down, you know?
It was in the Christmas spirit, I guess. I don't
All right.
know. Did it go up?
Somebody was looking after them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doing some remodeling in the deputy's office, making more room. Those Tahoes were the K9, when they sit there and idle, it took a motor out. It has, low miles on it, but high idle hours, so I'm building a, new countertop in the deputy's room, and there's kennels under the one side of it, so kind of try to save some motors. Other than that, that's all I got.
All right, Mike.
I have 3 visits today, tomorrow, and Wednesday at schools. I think I told you last week that we had hired the teacher in Wise River, and our teacher's aide out there is leaving, so he is working a little bit with the substitute, who's Teresa Murdoch, as you know, and he's out there on Thursdays until January 20th, and then he'll take over. Worked with Tracy, putting some stuff on the website that OPI has asked about all this accreditation and all of these things, and they just said, well, put it on your school website. Well, the grant website, we don't have a website. So Tracy has been doing all that, putting it on the county superintendent's website. Stacy and I worked with an OPI official on Friday, and the ESSER grants are being phased out. They should all be spent. And so we spent some time about an hour with the lady from OPI, closing out our account through the grant school district. And I have to tell you that the clerks, Daylene Honkamp, Rita Monday, Michelle Davis, and Stacy have just been flipping near amazing. The work that they have done and the attitude that they have had working with all of the number crunchers from OPI, it's just amazing. They've just done a great job for us. So, my kudos to Stacy and all the clerks.
Rob.
Oh, I issued a floodplain permit last Friday. And, it's one of those that the guy's building right in the floodway, so he's got to have some engineering done before he can move forward, so this will be kind of interesting. Got a couple surveys to review this week. One's pretty extensive, 5-pager on the Marchessault Ranch. So I'm looking at that one pretty close, and then of course got planning for Thursday, so election of new officers. Howdy.
Tracy, I know you haven't been doing anything, so tell us about it.
Well, I got the phones and computers working at the other building, so extension and we can set up shop, and their phone systems are now still through ours, so you can still dial them on our phones, so. That was that major thing last week. I'm still working on the fax line for the treasurer, because we want to port everything through the courthouse. She has an analog line where we want to get rid of and put it on the courthouse bill, so that's the next major thing over there. That's
And what you do with the treasurer, you're gonna do with the weed department and extension, they're all tied together, okay?
Yep. We don't need a fax line, Stacy. I don't think I know how to use a fax machine.
You don't even know what a fax machine is?
We got rid of yours, yeah. Well, that's that.
Not a whole lot, working on our countywide, or county community wildfire protection plan it is with Daryl Schulte and Tracy here and a couple others. We got some meetings set up, so we delayed it, postponed it because of fire season last year and everybody being gone, but we're back on track with it now, and it's gotta be done by, I think, the end of June. And, I think we'll get it, sounds like, with our contractor. Then we have a local emergency planning committee meeting this afternoon at 1:30, and one of the topics there is discuss possibilities for Homeland Security grants. So I've gotten a little bit of input on that from a few people, and it would be good if people came in and discussed that further this afternoon. So that's all I got.
All right, anybody else?
I have one more thing. Go Bobcats!
All right.
Yeah.
She wants to play.
I think all the farms are doing specials, like, I mean, all over the state. It's like,
Looks like we can get out of here about 20 minutes early so we can go watch the game. It is weird, it's on Monday. I mean, it just blows me away.
It starts at 5.
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, pretty stuff, right?
Oh, I don't know.
All right, thank you guys, have a good week. Have a good year. Yeah, get started.
Okay, yeah, sign them and I'll bring them over to the. I'll be back, so I can hear from you. I want to bring them over there today. But I've been meeting with the different trustees on here. It does not. You don't have any reports you can just say. You don't have a. You know, I have to find the notes.
It's nice that guys do that. What Joyce does is question.
Next item on the agenda, discussion action resolution 25-1, set commission meeting dates, and I think we want to keep the same.
Monday, we'll have to make a motion for Monday.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, signify by
All right.
aye. Motion carries.
Thanks, Simon.
Yeah, it's all ready for you.
And then we'll move to the next one.
All right, discussion and action resolution 2502-02, adopt mileage and per diem rates. And, that 27 cents, that's what we're staying with as far as mileage? Is that how do we do
No,
that?
can't be 20.
It just, no, it just says
I mean,
that
67.
we're doing adopting whatever the state's.
Oh, okay, that's what I was wondering.
Just,
And at this time.
just barely got an email from Mako, and they said it's 70 cents.
76,
70.
70? Oh, okay.
Okay. This doesn't.
But it don't matter, we use what
Yeah,
the
this
state.
just says we're doing whatever the state's doing, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I just thought you guys might want to know that just.
So it did
just
go to
barely.
70 cents, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that yet, I usually get one myself.
70 cents now.
Okay,
Gas dropped 50 cents, they raised it.
yeah, they raised it, makes a lot of sense, don't it? But the price of the car goes up.
I guess that's right.
Insurance going through the roof.
So what is it gonna be?
70.
It's whatever the state rate
Okay,
is.
so it will.
State sets it, we follow it.
It'll be 70, we'll just follow it.
So we,
Go ahead and sign that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right, next item, discussion and action resolution 25-03, establish fire station. And probably stay the same we are.
That gives us his authority this summer to shut it down. Basically what that says.
Second that.
Go ahead. Somebody want to make a motion?
That move.
Mike.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Mike, second.
All right. All in favor, signify by
Uh,
all right, thanks.
So, there you go, to 20 then.
Just a little bit beyond where Vulcan goes out there.
Yeah, right, the balconies and bushes and all of the outlaws down there. All the people that pray for. Okay. The wind never blows where he lives either, so. Not the.
You ready, bro?
Yeah.
All right, discussion and action, K family transfer, you got the floor.
Anyway, this is the survey that was submitted by Ray Gross on behalf of the Cave. And they're doing a family transfer over. And with that, I'll leave you to the questions, I guess.
To half of it, yeah.
What kind of questions do you have?
I thought Ray gave you the questions already.
I think he did.
Oh, okay. Number one, did you buy the property with the intent of dividing it?
Intention?
Yeah.
No, I've lived there for 20 years, ever since I got away from one of my neighbors.
Okay.
Are you, I mean, this is this sort of the new process we go through, but we're supposed to swear all these people in on this thing.
This?
No, read that piece of paper, the commission chair.
Right
there.
Oh,
Read that.
okay, I didn't.
I mean, if we want to, I mean, this is a different
And then the
one, but some of
landlord
these
signs.
things will be.
Okay. So,
Just do it from your chair.
okay,
I just do it from my chair. Tell him what you're doing.
this,
Have they explained to you what this whole process is about?
Oh, yes.
All right.
And I've got a lot of thoughts on
all right.
it. You ready for?
Repeat after me. State your name, please.
My name is Clifford James Kay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give
Yeah.
about the K family transfer exempting is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely.
Okay, we got that on record now. Now you need to sign this.
Oh. Hey, I got a POA sheet.
Wish I had it forward. Right there. This is new. I date it. Should look just like this. All right, let's start with, we'll go to the, I'll start over. Did you buy the property with the intent of dividing it?
No.
Do you or your transferees intend to transfer the property after the 2-year building period?
It all depends.
Holding period, I'm sorry.
Depends on everything. No, we didn't, we never entered in buying this thing for any reason other than just to live there with our stupid horse.
Have you talked, or you got more? Okay.
So, I mean, it would be transferred to me, right?
Correct.
I have no idea. I mean, it's part of his retirement, his will, and I have no idea what we're gonna do. I didn't realize there was a 2-year moratorium on what wells.
You have to hold it.
Yeah, you can't sell.
You can't sell it for 2 years. We understand that. Yeah.
But that's not including wells and.
No, I'm not dead yet. Well,
Yeah, not quite dead yet.
not quite.
That's for sure.
Maybe
Okay,
next week.
hey, no, you're gonna live forever. That's what I
Yes,
tell
that's
everybody.
true too.
All right, question 3, have you talked to anyone in the county about going through subdivision review?
Talked to, well, different times. Joe Esposito next door subdivided. Said it's been in my mind because I have 2 daughters. And as a matter of fact, they both live there now. Yes, both in RVs. And
He's
So-
93.
they
We're
all- they
taking care
know
of
that.
granddad.
Yeah, okay. But no, I didn't buy it with the idea of that. But my boys don't like me, so that's fine. I've got 2 daughters.
Okay.
And that's it. And so my point is, I'm 93 on the 14th. That means I'm not too far from where I'm going.
That one lady over in Japan was $1.16. She just passed the other day.
160.
116 years old, so yeah.
Well, the way he's going.
The first
He's gonna
lady
make
I
that.
saw when I walked into the senior center the other day, she sat right in front of me, 103 years old.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna wait that long.
Well, you had no choice.
You're right. You're absolutely correct.
All right, question 4, will the property be developed?
Will it be developed?
Yeah.
We don't know because,
It's not.
there's a
Yeah, you explained
reason
that.
for it not to be developed in any way at all, and then there's another reason that it might get developed, so, in either instance, we're tied in by law to 2 years, absolutely anyway.
To sell,
To sell it, to
That's
say,
to sell it.
but put a house on there, right?
yeah, or a well.
Or a well.
You're planning on putting a well out there?
Yeah, if there's
We
a house
could,
out there,
I
then
guess.
yes.
Oh, yeah, they won't tie two properties to one house.
Yeah.
That's not a good idea.
But no, that's just what it's all about is
So I can have a
getting
house.
divesting myself of stuff.
No, I believe you.
And I don't want my children to get screwed over if I can help it.
So there's one house out there now.
Yes,
You live in,
yes,
the well and the septic.
yes.
So this other one isn't, it's just bare property, but there's a possibility to build out there.
It's a possibility.
Unlikely.
Maybe or maybe not.
Okay.
It needs-
You're the power of attorney, you said?
Yes,
A daughter?
yes.
My oldest daughter.
So you got 2 daughters, and that's basically who's getting this piece of property?
Me.
You are, perfect. All right, I just want to make sure I understand her.
Yeah, she'll tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Only because my sister is,
Younger.
she's just not thinking that I'll do right by her when my dad dies.
Anyway, that's another subject. Has nothing to do with
Yeah. Okay, will the recipient of this property be residing on the property?
Don't know.
Don't know.
No, they don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
You said you got an RV there right now.
Well, we have other families involved. Their parents, one of the family's parents are dead, the other family's not dead. But they're so close to the edge, that we're concerned, just like me, I don't need all that junk anymore. I'm glad just to have a car that runs.
There you go.
That's it.
That's it.
Now, that's the question.
It's just divesting yourself. When you get old enough to start thinking that you should consider it, that's when you do the work you have to do.
Yeah.
And my wife passed away, and COVID hit in 2020. I have no interest here. Well, somewhat.
somewhat, just for my children.
And I think that's all we have.
That's all for this time?
Well, yeah, because this whole purpose of these family transfers is to not to evade subdivision. All right, but this is an exemption. So Rob, tell me this here, this is going through this exemption. Now, these ladies that are taking this property because of this can't do a family transfer, can't do, they're restricted of ever dividing that property again. Is that?
Yeah,
Oh, they know that.
Okay.
it's 10, it's in, would be in two 10 acre parcels. Yeah, you can't.
But 10 years from
It's-
now or 20 years from now,
it's
you wanna
got
split it in
a-
half and do the same thing on your piece of
No,
property, you can't
because
do it.
it's got a covenant.
We can't do a family transfer either.
10 is the smallest you can
And the
go.
covenants is out there is 10R.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is up there. Regardless. Yeah. Okay. Congratulations, step one, done. Oh, good.
We have the deed, which goes to
Oh.
Christine.
Oh, good.
Everything's ready, except we gotta have Ray sign part of the survey. I don't think the commissioner signed on this anyway. So it's just Ray.
So who signs as a witness on here?
I'll probably have, one of the clerk record.
Oh, you're gonna take care of that? All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anyway, that's all we have. If you wanna come over here real quick, we'll make sure that everything's ready to go.
Okay.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Cliff.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Mr. Rice. Yeah, nice Kathy Heller. South Side Boulevard.
There you
I don't know, I'm an avid fan of the beauty of Beaverhead County, blah, 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 blah. It'll bring.
Carrie.
Footing.
Just a second here.
We can hear you, buddy.
Dana.
Had to get my volume up.
I don't know much about, there's Heller.
Pardon?
He turned his volume up.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, we can hear you. Kathy Heller, did we?
I
says
had,
he
you can
got
read, doesn't say, she's just Bill Swanson, was that, he used to be a preacher? Yeah. Okay, that's where. He's passed away. Yeah, they had a house right back.
And who's this Colin Peters?
He's the one with the National Wildlife.
National Wildlife Federation is what says.
He's with that sagebrush outfit.
Where's he at?
I don't know, just sagebrush.
I'll have to read.
Yeah.
If I can find it.
I don't know. Well, there's Bill and Park on the list here that were on the last meeting, and that right here.
He's not in any order.
I would definitely nominate them too. And I'm curious if the rest would all meet and then kind of select three themselves, because I'm picking and choosing here. At least those two veterans would be on the committee. Bill was the chair last time, wasn't he? Bill Allen, I think it said that in his little.
He was kind of the ramrod on the last
version
of
the. But at least he's one of them on that knows the rhythm of the committee. And then if the rest of them, there's a lot of very capable people on here, but do they all understand the volume of get-togethers that you have?
Did we find Kathy Heller too?
I did that too. They don't say the daughter of the preacher, Bill Swanson. I think Bill Swanson was. I can't remember which church he was.
Cassie,
Lutheran. But he was right behind. Oh, yeah, that house down there on Dillon and Arizona. He was across the alley.
Yeah, there's a few people on the list there that
Probably
aren't gonna follow our customs and culture.
Not Debbie, the other one.
But that was.
On this whole thing,
That
you
was.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. But I don't know quite how to sort that all out. And then I think there should be some kind of a representative of the hopper and the big hole and the Atlantic area.
Yeah, we should
That kind of stuff. When we were setting up that livestock protection.
Yeah.
We got two down this way, two around here and two down there.
Yeah.
And that should be important
list
here.
Cause I made a bunch of calls.
Where did you get from that one? I heard some. This one, I heard of. I don't know. Sam Calfrey, Claffey.
Sean.
Sean, I don't know Sean Claffey.
Sean Claffey.
He
He belongs to Nature
Conservancy.
He does a lot of that stuff. I went on that one tour with him. He did a lot of that stuff up there at Hanson's, that conifer encroachment. That map that I brought back when he did a bunch of that stuff had that yellow line on it that looked a whole lot like the Missouri Headwaters Conservation thing, but,
Oh, I see right there, tnc.org. Yeah, that should answer my question right there.
Carrie,
Tony.
I guess we're starting, Joe?
Yeah.
Can you hear us, Carrie? Evidently not.
Yeah, he's just getting off mute.
He turned his mute on.
You're still muted, buddy.
Can't hear you.
There you go.
Okay, I'm here.
All right, perfect, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, I guess just to get started on this, when we first proposed updating this resource use policy to sort of update, because it's part of our growth policy also. I called or emailed or something, asked if you would be interested, since you're sort of on contract with us, to chair this outfit. That's what I want to confirm with the commissioners, first of all, that you'd be willing to help chair this thing to walk through this process.
Yeah, I'd be happy to, Mike. Just a little bit about myself. I'm fourth generation over here. We run a cow-calf operation. We have a lease, Forest Service lease since 1934. Served on the planning board for 10 years. Wrote the growth policy during that time for Gallatin County, and also the subdivision regulations. Very familiar with NEPA, the coordination process. When I was in legislature for 8 years, I carried legislation for the counties to be able to use the growth policy as the legal document to coordinate with the federal agencies on BLM land management plans and Forest Service forest management plans and travel planning. But the resource plan is very important, as more specific in what the needs, the culture, the traditions of the county, the economics. And so with that, I have experience with the process. And so I know you invited me, Mike, to maybe chair this committee, and I'd be happy to do that. And I am under contract with the county, and I don't think it'll take a lot of time to update because you already have a resource plan, but your economics, the things in the county have changed over time, and those need to be updated.
Perfect, thank you. That one good go, good.
Carrie?
Yeah.
This is Tom Rice. Yes, what I'm asking, with the number of meetings people are anticipating, if you can't be there to run it, vice chair, would leave that up to you. You'd accept that if you were unable to be a part of a meeting or two or three?
Well, my thoughts, and in talking to Mike, is probably my commitment would be for a couple of meetings a month, and I would come down to Dillon. I've done some work on the current resource plan, and actually, Tom, I've taken a couple other resource plans from the Western United States, Utah, Oregon, Baker County, Oregon, and I've kind of put some draft resource plan language that's kind of helps the agencies understand coordination. So I'm not so sure how valuable it would be, and it kind of depends on who you would want to chair this committee. And I don't know what your time frame is, if 2 meetings a month would be sufficient for the committee to get together. I don't know what the time commitment for the people you're going to appoint would have. And I am not sure what your target date for completion of this new updated resource plan would be.
Well, my wild guess would be, do a couple of months like that, have meetings, set dates so they know what they're getting into. And I'd like a final copy back to us by the late June, start a new fiscal year.
I think it's doable.
And if we can get it done in 6 months, have a organizational meeting here with
With that.
with the first date, get an organizational meeting. A lot of these guys, you can almost split them, before we do this committee, I want to talk to you about the size of this thing, but even split them into little groups and they can do a lot of work in between the time of the two meetings and get back together is how I was proposing this. Do you think the June 30 deadline would be acceptable?
Oh, very feasible, Mike. If we were to meet a couple of times a month, I don't know what the commitment would be from the committee members, whether it would be in the middle of the week meeting, midday, or if it would be an evening meeting, or if some of these folks, are working and they need to do on a weekend. It's kind of up to the committee, but I agree with a set date, second and fourth Wednesday of every month, or the second and fourth Saturday or something of every month. But a set date for the committee to meet, that makes it a lot easier for you to put out public notice that the public can come to these meetings and make comment. I just say, Tom, on chair and vice chair. I chaired Natural Resource Committee in the House for 6 years. I chaired the planning board in Gallatin for 4 years. Very familiar with Robert's Rules of Order. So anyway, I'm very familiar with chairing a committee as to make it run efficiently.
Well, my only concern is, I helped organize a livestock protection committee. And we have one representative out of the Big Hole and one up in the Lima country and one down here on that committee. Okay, well, when we go to have a livestock committee, we never could get all three at the same time. So we went ahead and put an alternate in the Big Hole and an alternate in Lima and an alternate here. Since then, we've never not had a 3-member meeting. And that's what I'm curious about here is if, you get yourself for some quirk reason, you stub your toe or something like that, can't make it, then somebody steps in and acts like the chair, keeps the rhythm going to meet this July, 1st of July deadline.
Well, like I said, that's very possible to have somebody do that, but we got to realize this is sort of a unique thing because he's sort of paid staff.
Well, that's true.
I mean, that's
I don't mind him being chair, but what if he has to step out?
But he's paid to do this job, so that's what I'm saying. I mean, he should be in these meetings or and with the Zoom possibility.
Yeah, I don't object to that at all.
Okay.
Well, I would just, Mike and Tom, I would make another comment that if you pick a chair out of Lima, or if you pick a chair out of the north end of the county or different, they may have thinking there might be a bias towards one area of the county or the other. I would be more of a neutral party to bring those folks together. I think that a subcommittee or an executive committee that you would have those different areas of the county represented so that if they couldn't make a meeting, then that person that was representing that part of the county could bring that information back to the members that you appoint. Is that kind of your thoughts on the appointment to make it a diverse group as to stakeholders or a diverse group on areas of the county? Have you folks discussed that on how you're going to go forward on that?
Like I said, I talked to you this morning. We haven't really got to discussion. We've asked for these people to turn in, and we've got 18 names. And like I said, that's why I keep proposing, even after the organizational meeting, break these down into subgroups somehow so they can work on different, one on ag and, one on recreation, one on, that kind of stuff. And that's energy or whatever. Case may be if we can get them broke down, put them all on there. I don't know if that's an oversized committee of 18 people or not.
Well, I think it's important to have representation on this committee that represent the different factions within the county, like you said, agriculture, timber, mining, private property rights. and also with recreation. So I think that diversity on this committee is going to be very important for that representation to represent those specific areas. I mean, if you put a bunch of people on the committee that have nothing to do with agriculture or have nothing to do with energy or mineral development, I think you're going to be hard pressed to create a resource plan that's representing those interests.
Yeah, just looking through here, that's why we were just going through this before you got on, it's really very well distributed in that part, ag's really represented. We got Gunderson, he came from the BLM and he's a minor type. Parkey and Bill Allen, both of them on the recreation, have been there forever. Turner, I don't know what to call you, you've been around forever. Conover and timber, ranchers are here. The only big one I've got a question on, I've been trying to find out, is all of these have Beaverhead County addresses except for this one possibility.
Who's that?
This is Colin Peters.
I don't know that
And
person, but does he work in the valley with that sagebrush outfit? Is that right?
Yeah.
You know, there's a sagebrush, what the heck it's called?
Montana Sagebrush Partnership.
I think
Connectivity.
I'm guessing he's a BLM.
But he what?
A BLM.
It was started by the Nature Conservancy.
He's a National Wildlife
Is he,
Federation.
does he have
National Wildlife
he's
Federation.
now National Wildlife Federation, and he's there. I mean, we advertised, he sent it in. I don't know if I'd blend him into a committee. The committee's big enough, hold him anyways. Just like that.
How many people do you want on each committee?
Well,
On this.
can I make a comment?
Yeah,
here? We've got to remember, we're not gonna totally rewrite this plan. We want to just update it, get a new vote on it, so it's current. There are gonna be some economic numbers, things like that we need to update. There's a few other things that have come up that we didn't deal with in 2009, 2010, such as wind farms, solar farms. Way back then, maybe the push by the conservation easement people wasn't very high back then. Look at what has just happened in Idaho and is continuing to happen in Idaho on water issues. So we don't need to do a total rewrite. I think that's why I brought it up here a couple weeks ago, just to do an update and get it current.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And the demographics that are in the resource plan are dated. And you have a lot of that information, new information on the economics, what's going on in the county. You updated that in the growth policy. A lot of that stuff is pretty current information in your new growth policy that I think can be brought over pretty easily from your growth policy and put into this resource plan.
So, are everybody comfortable just appointing this list and setting up a introductory meeting one day, then and to go through this with Carrie and get the sort of what the strategy is and set these meeting dates? That'd be the first. And like I said, I don't know if Wednesday's a good day. Seems like that gets picked on a lot, but even Wednesday the 15th, I'd hate to propose a time, but we're going to have to, and set that out with all these emails and phone numbers and Carrie and have an organizational meeting that night, that day.
When you get them all in here, the 18, ask them what day of the week they like the best.
Once it gets established, but
Wednesday's a nightmare for me.
and like I said, he asked to do it.
No, I wasn't throwing Wednesday out as a date.
Yeah.
But I was thinking your staff could probably put out a doodle poll to see what days work best and time commitment, if you could propose to the committee, twice a month, for, say, you want it done in June. For the next 6 months, it may get done sooner than that, but that's 12 meetings. And I think that's totally doable.
Cause I think you have to go the day of the week and then you gotta go the time of the day.
Well, this first one's gonna be tough, because we want to get it started. I'd like to send this next week, I would think.
You know, you gotta get the time of the day, and that's gonna be hard. Me, I want it at night every time. Cause days when I was self-employed, there's no way you could get here. No way.
Well, my schedule, I'm about 2 hours away, so 10 o'clock to 4 or 5 o'clock, any day, as long as I, can put it in my calendar and stuff like that. It'd be a little bit difficult for me to get over there, commitment, depending on the roads and stuff, before 10 o'clock in the morning, that's, so somewhere between 10 and 5, and you folks can put out a doodle poll and see what is available,
See what, I think the doodle should include the day of the week and the preferred time to meet.
So
And then let the
So
committee.
you'd rather not have night meetings then? Is that correct? Or-
Say it again.
You'd rather not have night meetings then? Is that correct?
Are you asking me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I
What-
asked if you'd rather not have night meetings then?
No, I'd rather not, I didn't quite catch that again.
I just asked if by your comment, you'd rather not have night meetings?
Yeah,
That start at 6 o'clock from 6 to 9 or something like that.
at night, yeah. Well, no, I mean, that's okay. If, we did an evening meeting, sometimes I could get out of Dillon by 8, so if we did a 6 o'clock meeting for 2 hours,
Yeah.
6 to 8 or something like that, that would work for me.
All right.
All right, then Dana, do you know these doodle polls?
Nope.
Do you think this one is, let's just toughen up and pick a meeting date, like 14, 15, or 16, and pick a time. And this first one, and at that meeting, they can decide the rest of them. Let the committee decide that. Let's carry 15, 16 next week.
Yeah.
That's JS, what do you think? Should we do it late afternoon, like 4 o'clock? 4 o'clock? Because that's where if even they had to get off work, most people would be, a little bit. 4 o'clock on what date? 15th, Wednesday. Wednesday, the 15th. I'll miss that.
Okay, 4 o'clock.
I got a water meeting.
You have a venue place that
Commission room.
Commission room, okay?
Let's do it in here. 4 o'clock, the 15th. Organizational meeting, Carrie, we'll introduce you to the crowd. That'll be the whole thing is let these people know what they're expecting. Then we'll have regular scheduled meetings from then on. Every, whatever the committee decides, 2 a month or something like that. Put a deadline on this, because we don't want to be typical government and make this go on forever. Get this updated. I think it'd work out and target here by the time we start a new fiscal year to get that thing updated.
That 15th, I won't be here for that.
Okay.
I got a water meeting that night.
And then once it's going, commissioners, we can attend if we need to.
The way this meeting's my meeting's that time of day. Mine starts at 4:30, 5 o'clock and goes on, whatever.
Okay, so Carrie, we got you lined up on the 15th, 4 PM. Hopefully be what, a 2 or 3 hour meeting? The first one.
Okay,
Two.
yeah,
Okay,
that works. If I could have, now you're talking 15 appointed, is that
18.
correct, Mike?
18.
18 appointed?
Yep.
Okay, at that organizational meeting, could I have copies, 18 copies of the current resource plan and maybe 18 copies of the current growth policy for the members?
We'll have her.
Okay, perfect.
And then, looks like this list, looks like we've got 16 of 18 emails, so we'll have that ready too. So we'll see if we can find some more emails.
Okay.
But we'll get a list over on that thing. And
I'll call. If they don't have an email,
Yeah.
phone number, I'll call.
yeah, but Van Duren, I mean, Rob Van Duren, I think he's around here real easy. And Bob does Jardines. I know his bride will have, his wife will have one, but I don't know what he does. But,
I think I've got
he might have it. So, oh, all right, Kerry, appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'll get started. I think it'll be a great idea. This hopefully will have something occupying our mind instead of watching that damn legislative session go off. All due respect for what you did up there, but day one's already got me concerned.
Okay.
I've got a conference call here at noon on that thing every Monday now. Boy, the first few bills they popped out just, God bless us.
Gonna try to cut your money again, huh?
I'll be careful, but, so, no, that'll come through. So we'll see you that afternoon and,
That's what they started with,
about
2,000, which is crazy.
we'll get going on this thing.
All right, that sounds good, Commission.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks,
Terry.
You bet. Thank you. Email me or give me a call anytime. You have my contact.
We'll do it.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So what's, Dana, can you get us a nice little note wrote up to thank you for your participation, but your organizational meeting will be blah, 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 blah. I guess we could start an email group would be the easiest way to do this. And,
I was thinking about on this list too, there might be certain areas that we don't have anybody that is, signed up. In the future, would we be able to add?
I don't know. That's why,
That'd be fine if you think it's needed. I don't care.
Well, it's just the use groups and individual, not necessarily areas, but.
I don't know, these guys got the work to do it, but the ones that show up, they should be able to get public comment. We're gonna have, I'm sure there's gonna be some public meetings for them guys. I'd be hesitant to add people to it after today.
Okay.
I really would.
I'll bet there's quite a few that don't even know what's going on. Just hear about it later on. That's always the way it is, too.
Hopefully it'll come, but like I said, once those meetings are scheduled, I think that'll help a whole bunch. And, if it gets too big, we can go to SNR or someplace. That's why I just think Wednesday nights, the SNR is usually one night.
Yeah.
No, Wednesday's a nightmare night to have stuff, everybody's Wednesday night for stuff. If Tuesdays is best, the Thursdays is so, Wednesday's over.
Well,
three Wednesdays a month, I'm tied up.
4 to 6 on Wednesday is a pretty good time, because if you've got any church issues, or that's usually when a lot of the church groups meet and different things on Wednesday night. They'll be done with this.
See what these people, they're gonna have.
I have to. It really doesn't matter to me. I'll just make the ones I can.
Can I look at the folder?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, please. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this Heller, I don't know her, but I mean, 30 years of global oil and gas industry project delivery. I mean, that's, she might have a little stuff on this.
You know, her and her spouse, if it's the one I'm thinking of, drive around town in this one of them big tall Mercedes Benz campers, silver colored.
Sean Claffey, that's Nature Conservancy. I've worked with him a little bit, he's a good kid. I guess I like him, and, he'll give a different perspective to it that we need, especially on these, conservation easements. I mean, he's big on that piece of them, and, like I said, I hate to say we're against them, but I mean, what would happen, projected if everything was under a conservation easement, what would happen?
The hardest thing is the lenders are promoting them something terrible, and the real estaters. And the lenders are the ones that are promoting it. 'Cause then they can buy high price,
Well, I
stuff.
guess I'll show you. There's more of a push right now to go towards leases than there is on these conservation easements, that are perpetual. There's some legislation that's gonna go through the legislature that's gonna put a 40-year cap on them, on the conservation easement.
That'd be really good. That'd be
The Fish, Wildlife and Parks, there's some, Christie being the new person up there is saying that they're gonna go towards, leases.
Leasing, just like leasing.
No more than, I think she said 20 years, 15 or 20 years leases.
The hardest
Instead of
part,
conservation.
the hardest part is if they can match the cash on the lease that the easements generate.
Yeah, but you control ownership.
That's true. But most of them just need the cash. Well,